Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Discover Dallas ISD High School session. This is where we will talk about all the programs for high school and in our specialty schools and our specialty programs, but we'll also give you additional information about what we have in some of the programs that we have in all of our schools, including these. Buenos días, muchas gracias por ser parte de esta presentación acerca de los programas y escuelas especializadas que tenemos para nuestros estudiantes al nivel de preparatoria. Si desea escuchar esta presentación en español, puede seleccionar la opción en español en la parte derecha inferior de la pantalla. El símbolo del mundo. Si por algún motivo no escucha al intérprete, regrese al inglés y vuelva a intentar la opción en español. Si aún no funciona, por favor avisarnos por el Q&A que está también en la parte inferior de su pantalla. Desafortunadamente, la opción de interpretación no es compatible con las computadoras Chromebook. Le recomendamos que intente entrar a la reunión utilizando un teléfono celular, iPhone o Android, una computadora PC, iPad o tablet para poder escuchar la reunión en español. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. We are going to we're going to take you through, walk you through the application so you can become familiar with it if you are not already. And then we'll talk about a few other items, and then we'll go into the programming. And if you have any questions, you don't have to wait till the end of the presentations to ask them. You can do so now by putting them into the Q&A by clicking on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen and then typing in your questions. We look forward to receiving them and to answering them. And now that we have you all here, I'm going to ask Jennifer Murillo, who is part of our One Centers, our enrollment experts, to please tell us a little bit about the application and kind of walk us through. And if we can stop sharing this slide so she can share her screen, that would be fantastic.
Thank you, Mari Carmen. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. I do want to share with everyone a little bit on the application website to see what that looks like and what you can expect once you start submitting your applications. The website for this is going to be dallasisd.org/choose-dallasisd. As you can see here, we're advertising all of our different information sessions. On the left-hand side, you will see the link to our school finder option. So if you are needing assistance with finding a program that fits the interest of your student, you can definitely use this to find all of the different options we have available for our students. Once you have those schools kind of in the back of your head, kind of knowing what you want to apply to, you can click here on the Choose Dallas ISD application. And you will have the opportunity to log in or create an account. I do want to remind parents that this is the same site that we used to submit the registration forms for this school year. So if you have a current Dallas ISD student and you submitted those registration forms, you may already have an account here. If you also submitted an application last year, then you may also have an account here. If the student is going to be new to Dallas ISD, then certainly use the options on the right to create the account. Once you log in, there are a couple of key points we want to make sure every parent is aware of. There are different languages available on this application, and you can change those up here on the top right. We also want to make sure parents are in the correct school year. So make sure that you're in the 22-23 school year to submit the appropriate application. And we also want to make sure that if the student is already on your account, I know these buttons are very appealing, but if the student is already on the account, just scroll down to the bottom. You'll see their name. And so what you'll want to do is click on their name and then the application tab to be able to start that application for this school year. If the student is not connected to the account because you just created one, then you can go up to the top, click on Let's Begin Application. and then you'll see the student lookup page. If they are a current Dallas ISD student, or if they have been enrolled in Dallas ISD before, it is important that we or you as the parent include their ID number, their first and last name exactly as we have it in our system, as well as their birth date. So to verify that information, you can see their report card or their progress report that's been issued by Dallas ISD, or if you have a parent portal account, you can also see how we have it in the system just to make sure it matches. If the student is going to be new, you'll just click no to that first question, and you'll be able to continue once you have read the requirements and policies. I already have an application started, so just to kind of get through this part a little faster. On the application itself, we also have the application available in Spanish. So you'll be able to select either if you want to continue in English or Spanish. The left-hand side is going to give you your application progress. So any page that has a little green check means it's good to go. You've already completed the requirements on that page. Page number 4 is going to be the selected schools. Based on the address that you provide, you will see the zone school. So this is going to be the traditional neighborhood school that is available to your student, where they will always have guaranteed enrollment as long as you live in their attendance boundaries. If you scroll a little bit down, you'll be able to see a map. The green school is going to be your zone school. So if you're interested in other programs in the area, you can kind of click around to see what's there, what's available. And then you can scroll down to select the programs. There are some schools that have multiple programs. As you can see here at Conrad, they have a P-Tech option available as well as a neighborhood transfer. So we do want to make sure parents are aware of the programs they're applying to. And so it's always outlined here for you. Once you select all of the schools that you're wanting to apply to, then you go ahead and click continue. And you'll land on the rank, the rank school selections page. These schools will be ranked in order alphabetically when you first land on this page. So it's very important that you re-rank them to the appropriate order. Students will only receive one offer based on this ranking selection. So for example, if the student, if your preferred school is Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, then, and they are accepted to that program, the other applications will kind of be, their offers or their status will not be available to you anymore because you mentioned on this application that this was their dream school, this is where they really wanted to attend. If, for example, they are waitlisted at Barack Obama but are accepted to City Lab, then the system will still allow you to see that waitlist status for a higher ranked choice, and then will still allow you to accept the seat while a seat becomes available in your higher ranked choice. So if you do need to re-rank these schools, then just go ahead and drag and drop them to the preferred order, and then you can continue with the application. It's important that you also include if you have any siblings that are currently attending a school that this student is applying to, or if there's a sibling that is going to also be applying to that same program. That way the schools can kind of link those applications together. Depending on the school that you select on your application, you will have additional pages up here on the left-hand side. So for magnet schools, if you're submitting an application, you will be required to upload specific documents, such as the student's most recent report card, the student's test scores, and proof of residence. If you are applying to a P-Tech and early college, there are additional questions that must be answered by the student. So you do need to make sure that the student is answering these questions. If you are applying to transformation schools, and there are additional questions and documents that must be uploaded for those schools as well. So once you submit all of the information that's needed on these applications, or on these pages rather, then you will get to the agreements and signatures page. You'll go ahead and be able to read each compact and agreement form for each program. So magnet, transfers, P-Techs, and early colleges, and then continue. If at any point you do need to pause the application and either need to gather some documents, or maybe you need to wait until the student is home to be able to answer those P-Tech questions, you can always click I want to finish later, or in previous pages it's the save and exit button. So that will save your progress, so you can always come back to this application at a later date. So here on this page, you'll have one last opportunity to review the information that you have entered. If you need to edit anything, you can use the edit button here on the right. But if everything looks good, then you can go ahead and submit your application. So on the dashboard, once you get to the complete page, that's how you know it's done, it's completed. We do want to make sure you also are receiving a confirmation email and or text if you mention that you want to subscribe to text message notifications, because once the offers are sent in March, then you will get that notification to either your email or your text message. So we want to make sure you're getting those alerts. On your dashboard, you will also be able to see the status of the application. So if it's in processing, then it needs to review it, make sure that the student is eligible to move forward to the next phase of the application process. You can re-rank the options here on your dashboard as well as needed up until January 31st. So if you maybe see some open houses, if you go visit school representatives and they appeal more to you once you actually talk to those schools, then you can simply re-rank them, and that will update that status for you. If you need to change the schools on your actual application, just click the edit button here on the right, and then you'll be able to toggle to the selected schools page and then make those edits as needed. Now, again, I'm not sure if I may have mentioned this earlier, but you can select up to 5 programs on this application with a limit of 2 magnet schools. So the system will automatically do that for you. Once you select the 2 magnet schools, it will not allow you to select more. Once you have your 5 options, it will no longer allow you to select more. So if you already have your 5 and you want to change them, then just deselect the one you want to remove and add the new addition. But it is as simple as that. If you all have any questions about that application process, feel free to put them in the Q&A and we will get to those questions shortly.
Great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. So this is a lot of information. I know that a lot of you have been already putting in questions, and we'll get those answered for you. But if you have any other questions and you want to, or you're filling out the application and you have a question, please feel free to call our phone bank. They're open today until 1 o'clock at 972-925-5560. And that's also available during the week, during working hours, if you want to give them a call if you're doing the application in the middle of the week. Now we are going to look at our student transfer process, which is part of this application. Jorge Flores will walk us through this process. And Jorge, if you want to take it away.
Morning, everyone. As you just heard from my colleague Jennifer, how to go ahead and apply for these great programs. Did you know that Dallas ISD has over 200 neighborhood schools with great programs for your students? In addition, if you live within the boundaries of Dallas ISD and you have a student from grades K to 12, they automatically have a seat at their zone neighborhood school. However, if your student wants to go ahead and enroll into a different neighborhood school, they would simply apply for a student transfer to that other school. If they're interested in other neighborhood school programs, such as a dual language or IB, they would apply for those as well for those neighborhood schools. Once a student is marked eligible when they're applying, they will either receive a seat offer or be put on the wait list. And they're marked eligible by the schools where they're applying for, depending on if the school has available space for the grade level that they're requesting. Sometimes they'll also look at the students' grades, attendance, and conduct record to go ahead and help them and make a decision. One thing to keep in mind is that we also accept students who live outside of our boundaries, and they can apply for a student transfer as well. keeping in mind that for those students who do get accepted in the transfer, there is no transportation provided for those students, or if they get accepted into a different neighborhood program like an IB or dual language or innovation, they live outside of the zone of those schools where they were accepted, they also do not qualify for transportation. However, once the student is approved for a student transfer, they can remain at that school up to the highest grade level available at that school, as long as they continue to meet the rules and expectations of the transfer permission. And that's simply just maintaining good grades, good attendance, good conduct. Another thing to keep in mind is the uniqueness of a student transfer is that a school that still has available space throughout the school year can still accept a transfer during that time. If you need any more information, please visit us at dallasisd.org/student transfers. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Jorge. I appreciate the information. Just as a reminder again, we have the phone bank available until 1 o'clock today, 972-925-5560. Now we're going to share a video for our P-Tech programs, and then we'll have our P-Tech experts provide additional information.
P-Techs are a combination of high school, college, and industry working together to help prepare students for the future of their choice. We sold P-Tech as a game changer. We enlisted lots of community members, all united to help us fulfill this big, hairy, audacious goal to change educational outcomes and living wage opportunities for children in the Dallas area. And we're excited that P-Tech didn't just promise to be a game changer, we delivered. We now have over 90 industry partners that support our students in their day-to-day work. The first class of P-Tech students, along with our traditional early college high school students, 628 of those students walked the stage, and we achieved 72% of our students completing their degrees. And let's talk about our industry partners. We have increased internship opportunities for our students significantly. In the summer of 21, over 400 students worked in paid internships where the average salary was $17.50. And the estimated potential earnings that our students made in one summer was over $1.6 million. Dallas ISD didn't just promise to be a game changer, we delivered through the P-Tech program.
Great. So now we would like to hear from our P-Tech representatives to tell us more about those programs and the early college programs.
Good morning. Buenos dias. I'm Dr. Patton, and on behalf of P-Tech and early college programs, we would like to share the unique and truly valuable opportunities available to you through our program. Next slide. Our high schools offer two options: P-Tech, which stands for Pathways in Technology, Early College High School, and ECHS, which stands for Early College High School. Both programs allow students to earn up to 60 hours of college credit tuition-free, as well as an associate degree through our higher education partners. The P-Tech high schools also have industry partners who offer highly valuable workplace learning opportunities. Next slide. P-Tech's exciting commitment results in unique benefits, like getting to earn up to 60 college hours and career tech certifications for free, being offered scholarships from four-year universities, and being given career internships, workplace mentoring, and first-in-line job opportunities from our industry partners.
This map with the P-Tech program is an indicator that through our program, choice is really your choice. So you can see through the diverse offerings provided by our program, as well as the campuses that offer them, whether you are interested in healthcare that's offered at Pinkston, Roosevelt, or Sunset, or if you're interested in business through Seagoville or Molina, High School, engineering, visual communications at TJ. Everything that you choose is also provided through transportation. Next slide. We're also very proud through the P-Tech program that we have over 90 industry partners and counting. So we have grown to call this our wall of fame through the P-Tech program. And so here, we really take pride in our partners, and it's our partners that really make our program such a great success. So as the video alluded to earlier, we've had over 400 internship opportunities this summer, with over $1.6 million of student earning just in one summer. So we are super excited about our offerings at P-Tech. If you want more information about our program, please feel free to visit us at dallasisd.org. Search up P-Tech and Early College. Thank you.
All right, so we also have a lot of activities, a lot of enrichment programs in our high schools, whether they're comprehensive or neighborhood high schools, or all of these specialty schools. And we have Christina Martinez, who will be telling us about this fantastic student activities that are available for your students.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christina Martinez with Student Activities. Our main goal at Student Activities is to remove barriers and provide opportunities for our students in academic, UIL, and extracurricular activities. As you can see on the screen, we offer a wide variety of activities to our students, and we want to make sure that all of our students have the opportunity to dive into various activities and kind of find out what they're into, and hopefully they can explore something that will guide them into their career. Overall, the biggest goal with our extracurriculars is to make sure that our students feel like they're part of their community, that they are one with their school. They have the opportunity to express themselves, be it through Winter Blitz, through cheer, or show off their knowledge in UIL or TMSCA. Next slide, please. Our activities are vertically aligned. So a lot of our students have been in a lot of these extracurriculars since elementary all the way up to high school. In the high school level, students do have the opportunity to letter in these activities, so that it's something to consider when you're picking a school for your student, all the wonderful extracurriculars they can participate in.
Great, thank you. And plus they're fun, and they give them all these really fantastic soft skills that you may not think are needed for academic success, but they are super helpful to develop critical thinking skills and help them later in life. But also, more importantly, a lot of these activities are what keep students interested in school. They give them a sense of belonging and a sense of excitement, and they're so much fun. So this is definitely something to look into, to have them participate in these enrichment activities. And did I mention fun? All right, thank you so much. Now, we're gonna share a brief video about our career institutes, and then we are going to hear some more about this really somewhat new but really great program.
Calling all motivated, creative, and energetic students. Are you ready to be a part of an exciting new program in Dallas ISD? Introducing Career Institutes. Learn how to work in construction, aviation, plumbing, solar technology, interior design, HVAC, and mechatronics. The workforce industry needs you, and these are the jobs of the future. So, if you're ready to earn career certifications and get to work right after high school, Career Institutes is for you. The only question left is, what will your pathway be?
Great. So I think Jean is here from Career Institutes to tell us a little bit about how these programs work and how your student can access them.
Hi, I'm Becky Barker. Good morning.
Sorry.
Next slide, please. Thank you. Career Institutes prepare students for skilled, high-demand, high-wage careers. There's no application, and students can still participate in sports and extracurricular activities at their home high school. Free transportation is provided to and from the student's home high school directly to the Career Institutes. Students come half a day, every other day to Career Institutes and participate in hands-on learning opportunities while obtaining industry certifications. So let's take a further look at Dallas ISD's 3 Career Institutes. Next slide, please. Okay. Career Institute North is located in North Dallas near the LBJ and Midway area. It serves Conrad, Hillcrest, North Dallas, Thomas Jefferson, and W.T. White high schools. So if you attend any of those high schools, you can take the following pathways: aviation flight, architecture and interior design, construction, electrical, HVAC and plumbing, cybersecurity, and mechatronics, which is advanced manufacturing. Next slide, please. Price Career Institute South is located on Village Fair Drive in South Dallas, near the I-35 and Ledbetter area. It supports Adamson, Carter, Kimball, Molina, Roosevelt, South Oak Cliff, Sunset, Kingston, and Wilmer Hutchins. The pathways are aviation flight, architecture, interior design, construction, electrical, HVAC and plumbing, cybersecurity and software development, mechatronics, patient care technician, and pharmacy technician. Next slide, please. Career Institute East is located in the Lincoln Annex building behind Lincoln High School in East Dallas. We support Brian Adams, Lincoln, Spruce, Samuel, Woodrow Wilson, and Madison. And the pathways here are interior design, construction, electrical, HVAC, and plumbing, cybersecurity, patient care technician, and pharmacy technician. Please visit our website for additional information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that additional information. These are really great programs because, you know, they prepare you for the workforce right out of high school. And I know a lot of us had to work and go to college. So this is definitely a good way to get a great paying job, and you also be able to go to college and pay for it. So definitely look into it. And I do see some raised hands. We're not doing like live questions, but we will get to them. If you put them in the Q&A right now, we'll either answer them directly there or we'll put them out live, and once our experts will answer them live. So if you have any questions, please do put them into the Q&A. And now we're going to hear about our athletics programs, which in high school, they're a really big deal. And definitely how that applies to our specialty programs and schools.
Good morning, everyone. My name is M.T. Taiski. I'm Assistant Director of Athletics for Dallas ISD. And currently we offer 13 different sports for our students: baseball, basketball, cross country, football, golf, soccer, softball, swimming, tennis, track and field, volleyball, water polo, and wrestling. We also offer different activities outside of athletics. There's like a liaison for it. For example, we offer athletic training as well as athletic communications. So if if students would like to learn more about that, those areas we also offer. We offer sports at all 22 comprehensive campuses. And if you attend a specialty school or a magnet, you have the opportunity to compete at your home campus that's in the neighborhood that you live in. Any additional questions you may have pertaining to athletics, please email us at notifyathletics@dallasisd.org or visit our website at www.dallasisd.org/athletics. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So yes, even if you go to a specialty school, you can still participate in sports. You just have to do it at your home school because there are those UIL rules and such. So, and if you need more information, you have the contact information, or you can visit our website and search for athletics there, our main district website. So now we're gonna talk to you about a little bit about the dual language program offerings at the high school level.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Sofia Elizondo, and I am actually the parent specialist for dual language. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our dual language program. And like I said, usually our main goal in our dual language secondary high school level is for our kids to, become bilingual, which is basically making sure they speak, they are able to read and write, and also the biculturalism, where we actually open the doors for them to, so they can actually, give me 1 second. There you go. So that they can actually open the doors and make sure they actually learn about different cultures, different opportunities all around. So that is part of our dual language program. We also make sure that the dual language program has, there's research based where they say that it improves the academic performance and also problem solving skills. There's research behind the problem solving skills where our kids learn how to resolve a little bit more, sorry. And also the higher learning potential. In other words, there's research behind that our kids that are bilingual, they learn a little bit more money when they go out in the workforce. Next. Okay, so we do have 5 secondary dual language high school campuses. We have those campuses are for emerging bilingual students, those students that are actually qualified to be in our bilingual or dual language programs. And we also offer it to the opt-in students. For example, our non-Spanish or non-language learners. We also, those students that want to apply for the secondary level have to have some kind of previous language experience requirement. In other words, they have to have some kind of Spanish background because they have to take rigorous Spanish classes. So they have to have some kind of big previous language experience. Next slide, please. And this is just a little bit of an example of what a school offers, a dual language high school may offer. For example, student in the secondary level, they will need to take 2 classes in Spanish. Most likely one will be maybe a content area and the other one will be a lote, a Spanish AP class or honors class, whatever the school is actually offering. And the remainder of the classes would all be English. So it would be 100% English. So like I said, it's only 2 classes per year that they have to take if they enter our dual language program in the secondary level. Next. And it's just a little example of what a high school, some of the classes that some of the high schools might offer, some of our dual language high schools. Geometry, honors, US government, dual language, AP, pre-cal, dual language biology, dual language Mexican American, dual language Spanish also. And like I said, they're able to take one of this core content plus the Spanish class every year, and the rest of the classes are in English. Next. And that's about it. Thank you so much for listening. And feel free to contact our dual language ESL program if you have any additional information. Thank you, or questions. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to hear from our magnet programs. We have several high schools that have magnet programs. So I believe it's Nancy.
Yes, Nancy. Good morning. My name is Nancy Rubio. I am the magnet coordinator within the centralized enrollment and magnet department. Next slide, please. Magnet programs are theme-oriented courses of study that provide students with an in-depth experience in specific areas of interest, such as STEM, fine arts, TAG, Montessori, leadership, and multiple careers. Next slide, please. We have 27 magnet school options serving students in elementary through high school. We have 10 high school options, 2 single gender 6 through 12 leadership schools, and our 9 through 12 programs which focus on multiple careers, science, health, law, TAG, performing and visual arts, such as Booker T. Washington, Skyline, and our 6 magnet high school options within Townview Center. Next slide, please. The main difference between magnet schools and other choice programs is magnet schools have eligibility requirements. The minimum grade point average for TAG and the School of Science and Engineering is 80 cumulative GPA. All other programs require a 75 cumulative GPA. The minimum test score requirement is 70th percentile for talented and gifted and the School of Science and Engineering. All other programs require the 40th percentile. This year, applicants have 5 sets of options to meet the math and reading test. We are taking the spring 2021 STAR, the fall 2021 MAP, which is a map that Dallas ISD students took this September. And we are also taking any of the 3 MAP tests taken during the 2020-2021 school year. If your child does not have any test scores and is enrolled in Dallas ISD, you can request they be tested at their enrolled campus. If the student does not attend Dallas ISD and does not have any test scores, you may sign up your child to be tested through the school they are applying to. We also have a list of alternate tests that we accept. This list is located on our magnet webpage, dallasisd.org/magnets. So you may use those tests as well. Next slide, please. Applicants who meet the eligibility requirements will move to the next step in the application process and selection process. With the selection process, 30% of the seats are awarded district-wide to the top scoring applicants based on the overall assessment score, and the 70% are divided among the district's high school feeder patterns. For our high school magnet applicants, we do not observe a sibling priority. Lastly, I do want to let you know that in-district students are placed before out-of-district students. I do want to encourage you to visit the magnet page at dallasisd.org/magnet. We have great resources and links to guide you through the entire application process. Again, thank you for your attention and have a great day.
Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate all that really great information. And as you heard earlier in the session, you can apply to up to 2 magnet schools in the application. So definitely keep that in mind as you're looking at all the schools that are the best fit for you or your children. And now we have information about visual and performing arts. And these are classes that are available at all our high schools, including our specialty programs and magnet and transformation high schools. And they're great programs, and they're recognized at the regional, state, and national level. And we have our visual and performing arts representative to tell us a little bit more about what we offer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Demas Delgado. I'm in the Visual and Performing Arts Department, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the offerings that we have for your students in Dallas ISD. Next slide. So some quick facts about Dallas ISD Fine Arts programs. We currently serve over 115,000 students, so the vast majority of our students are enrolled in some form of a visual and performing arts program. We have 744 teachers to serve those students, and the percentages work out to about 80% of our kids. So in the high school, if your kiddos have been participating in a middle school program, you probably have a really good idea of what's available to them in high school. Essentially the same programs with a little bit more focus, but we do offer choir, dance, theater, visual art, band, and at some schools, orchestra. All of these things lead to more specialized programs as well, through things like jazz band or mariachi, folklorical dance, and other specialized experiences with theater and choir. Next slide. So a little bit about what we've been up to. Dallas ISD has been honored here recently quite a bit. The Texas Art Educators Association, for the first time ever, has named Dallas, the Dallas ISD, the 21 District of Distinction. So that's a huge, huge deal for our visual art students. Recently, we have had the joy of having 22 all-state dancers being recognized by Texas Dance Educators Association. The NAM Foundation, the National Association of Music, has named Dallas ISD the best communities for music education now for the second year in a row. 2 Grammy signature schools, as well as continued opportunities through the TMEA process for all-state musicians to gain scholarship opportunities. Next slide. So as you can see, we kind of made our way through elementary, middle, focusing now on high. And when we get to the high school, we're really making our way through mastery. So our students are now going to be focusing on their particular chosen pathway of fine arts. You can see some of the program offerings there. UIL Marching Band, this is the first time you're going to see marching band. They participate at football games as well as contests and UIL evaluations. UIL one-act play, other scholastic events that happen. UIL concert and sight reading, something they did in middle school, but now is quite a bit more high school. Open to your dance students will be things like drill team. And with combined emphasis from orchestra and band, we now have opened mariachi programs for our students. Those programs are not offered necessarily at all campuses. I encourage you to reach out to your campus of choice to see if that program is offered there. If you have any questions, feel free to navigate to the Dallas ISD Visual and Performing Arts page through the Departments tab and reach out to the appropriate department lead who will be happy to answer your questions on your program. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dimas, for providing this really great information about what's offered in high school. And now we have our transformation and innovation programs that are available at the high school level.
Good morning. I'm Jonathan Parker from the Office of Transformation and Innovation. Next slide, please. Our transformation schools are open enrollment campuses designed around various innovative instructional models, such as Montessori, STEM, STEAM, single gender, personalized learning, and international baccalaureate. There are no academic entry requirements for transportation of courses offered within district boundaries. Online applications, of course, are open between now through January 31st. Research does show that socioeconomically diverse schools offer better learning environments for all students, no matter their background, and the OTI office has adopted this approach for several of our transformation schools. Next slide, please. So we have 3 high schools, transformation high schools. First off is IDEA, which is our Innovation Design Entrepreneurship Academy, which is a one-of-a-kind place for one-of-a-kind students and a one-of-a-kind education. IDEA works to facilitate personalized learning experiences that are tailored to each student's needs. Secondly, we have City Lab, which is our high school that works with the city of Dallas as an extension of their classroom. City Lab students gain real-world experience while participating in community problem solving with professional and industry partners. Finally, we have New Tech High School, which is an innovative campus that engages in project-based learning. New Tech scholars engage in problem solving, critical thinking, and collaboration, and they utilize technology and creativity, which are key components in their student learning experience. Next slide, please. As in addition to our transformation schools, we have innovation schools, which are neighborhood high schools. These are programs that offer redesigned curriculum while maintaining their current school identity. We have different programs such as personalized learning, again, STEM, STEAM, and international baccalaureate models in this as well. Next slide. We have 3 innovation high schools, North Dallas High School with design thinking, leadership with Bryan Adams High School, and Franklin D. Roosevelt High School of Innovation, sharing our going through the public health campus model. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll turn it back over to Mary Conlon.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate the information. And these are great schools, so hopefully we'll get a lot of applicants. And now we have come to the portion that we answer your questions of this presentation. So we have gotten a lot of really fantastic questions. A lot of them have been answered in the Q&A, but we pulled some that I think might be of interest to everybody. So let's get started with those. First of all, will there be any summer bridge programs offered for incoming 9th graders at all or any of these schools? I don't know who wants to tackle that one because it's pretty general. But if no one steps up, I will give it a shot.
I can speak for P-Tech in early college. P-Tech does offer a 2-week summer bridge program that prepares the students for the college level classes as well as preparing them for their industry partnerships that they'll be a part of through that year.
Okay, great. And is that likely to also be at the magnets and the OTI schools?
The magnets do offer bridge programs. I believe some of the Townview schools are the ones that offer those bridge programs, but the student would get that information when they receive their acceptance.
Okay. So yes, a lot of the schools, even the comprehensive high schools, offer these bridge programs for incoming 9th graders to get them acclimated, because sometimes it's a big change from middle school to high school. And well, not sometimes, pretty much all the time. So unless you come from like a really big middle school, it's good to acclimate, to meet the teachers and that kind of thing. So what we recommend is that whether you are going to be attending comprehensive high school or one of these schools, if you get accepted, check with your school, check the website, get in touch with them before school starts to see what they're going to offer for the 9th graders. So I don't know if Jennifer or Keisha, if you can go through the timeline a little bit more. So the application closes on January 31st. What happens next, and when will people start getting their acceptance notices?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, the application closes on January 31st. In between that time, schools may reach out to families to schedule any additional assessment, audition, or interview that may be required for that program. When the application closes, February is kind of used to schedule any last minute applicants and also to run our lottery. So all of the lottery processes will happen at the same time for all of the schools. The notifications of acceptance or waitlist status will be sent to families on March 1st. So they will have 10 school days to accept or decline any offer that they receive through that application portal.
Okay. And there was, I don't know if you want to answer it or do you want to leave it for someone else, but there was a question about when can people apply, because we've been talking about, entering like 9th grade or moving into middle school all morning. Can I apply to any of these programs if I am entering the 10th grade, or does it depend on the program? And maybe the individual programs can address that and not you. Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's okay. A good majority of the schools are going to be available on the application for rising 10th graders. I believe the only exception to that is going to be our P-Tech programs. So if that department wants to kind of chime in on that, on the application, P-Techs and early colleges are only available to incoming 9th graders.
And I can speak just briefly to that in terms of the why. With P-Tech, they're taking college level classes. And so those classes start their 9th grade year. So it is best practice that students do join their 9th grade year so they are not behind in the years coming.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
As far as for magnets, we do have high schools that take 10th grade applicants. The seats are listed on the Choose Dallas ISD website and also on the magnet website. So you can look up how many seats they have available for those grades.
Yes, thank you, Nancy, because I was going to mention it depends on seats being available, because a lot of these programs are progressive, like you're accepted in 9th grade and you move to 10th. So it may not be as likely that there's a seat available past like the entry grade. So what if I'm moving from another city or state and don't have a permanent address yet? I do know I want to live in Dallas somewhere. Can I still apply to these programs, and how does that work?
As far as for magnet programs, we do require that you upload proof of residence. We will go based on the proof of residence you submit. And if you do move or update your address during the application process, then we will update your eligibility or your feeder pattern assignment within our system, and then give you priority accordingly.
Okay. So just to maybe clarify, like if I'm moving from Michigan, I mean, that's what I provide for my proof of residence?
Yes, so you would be classified as an out-of-district student for magnet, because we do place in-district students first. So for magnet, we would classify you as out-of-district until you actually move into the Dallas ISD school district and provide us proof of residence.
Well, okay. Thank you.
But I believe it works differently for the other programs.
Is any differences of anyone who wants to chime in?
So because the application does kind of go based off of the address that the parent provides on the application, that is what I believe most programs will utilize to kind of determine if the student is going to be in district or out of district. Again, as Nancy mentioned, if they do move during the application season, they can provide that proof of residence for their new address, and we can make those changes accordingly.
So for those parents who wanted to know about that, you might want to, start looking at a place to live sooner rather than later. So there's a parent here who has a son who is going to be who is in 11th grade now and wants to be part of the Career Institutes. Is that possible to kind of do it at the 12th grade next year, or how does that work? And is there a possibility of joining even now?
I'm with Career Institutes, and we are a 4-year program. So to come in your senior year is very difficult because you just don't get the certifications. If he would like to contact us, we can give him some further information. I'm not saying it's a hard no, but I'm saying give us a call. But we are a 4-year program, so he's already missed a lot of wonderful learning opportunities.
Okay, great. Thank you. And so this is a question for the P-Tech folks. What is the difference between P-Tech, H-Tech, E-Tech, and early college? And are there academic requirements for any or all of them?
That's a good question. We get that a lot. So the difference between the different techs that you see, so P-Tech, H-Tech, is really based on the pathway that's being offered at that campus. So if you see an H or an E, it can indicate that H is healthcare, E being engineering. So it just indicates the focus of that campus. As far as the difference between P-Tech and ECHS, they are both considered early college high schools. The only difference with the P-Tech is the incorporation of the industry partnerships that has a focus on workforce readiness.
Okay, great. And stick around because I believe this one is for you as well. So some people comment or say that sometimes when you're in the early college program, that some of those classes that you take, I guess I'm assuming at the Dallas College campus, are not always accepted by universities when you want to move to a 4-year program, and they have to repeat them. Is this true, and how does that work? And are there some universities that do accept them?
So I'll be happy.
Go ahead, Dr. Pat.
No, go ahead.
Well, it's difficult to really speak for all universities, but the good thing about our pathways is that we also have partnerships with 4-year universities, such as UNT Dallas, such as Texas A&M Commerce. So we also have those partnerships. So I would encourage that student to really, whenever they are, making their next plans, to really work with their counselors and their coordinators to ensure that those credits are transferred to the correct college.
And if you do have a college in mind that you want to go to, that perhaps it's an out-of-state college or something like that, that you check with them and tell them, okay, this is what I'm planning for my high school. How will it work with your school if I were to apply? Because that is part of this whole process of applying to these programs, is to kind of look beyond the next 4 years at what you want to do in the future, which I know it's at this age, sometimes it's hard, but it is helpful.
Right. And I'll just quickly add, if you don't mind, that sometimes I think the lack of transfer might have to do with a particular program. So you could have a university like Texas A&M that has very stringent requirements for its engineering program, and every student transferring to that university, whether they've done AP, IB, doesn't matter, they're going to be taking calculus over again at A&M because A&M just requires that. So you're correct. Just check with your transferring institution.
Great. So this is like a transfer question. So this parent's child attends DA Halsey STEAM, and they are zoned for the high school at South Oak Cliff, but they want to attend Carter, which is actually closer to their home. They wanted to know if it's better to apply to the P-Tech program that's at Carter, or to just do a transfer to attend the comprehensive program at Carter. I don't know who wants to.
Well, I can answer that just for the transfers, but also you guys can chime in for the P-Tech. But I would suggest to the parent, apply for both. Apply for both because you have that opportunity to apply for both. Now, ranking, going back to what Jennifer Murillo mentioned in regarding to the ranking when you're applying, your number one ranking school or program is your preferred one. So it all depends which program that they prefer, just a general transfer, or are they more interested in some of the other programs that are available at that same school. But yes, apply for both if you'd like. And remember, you get to apply up to 5 programs with maximum of 2 for the magnets.
And the transfers are considered one of those 5 programs, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yes, so double your chances of getting accepted at Carter. Apply for P-Tech and for the comprehensive asset transfer. So should the ranking that you're doing in your application be done before final submission? And I'm going to answer that one. Yes, you can change it up to January 31st. But before that, you can play around with the ranking, even if you have submitted the application already. Right, Jennifer?
That is correct.
I've heard this long enough that I can answer some of these already too. This is a question, I guess it's the Young Women's Leadership School. So this would be probably Rangel. The child is already in the 8th grade there. Does she need to apply to the high school program, or would she automatically move into 9th grade?
So she would automatically move into 9th grade. She does not need to reapply for the high school level.
And I guess that applies to all the schools that have the 2 grade levels.
That is correct. They roll over to the next grade level. I know there has been questions as if they apply for another program, do they lose their seat at their current choice program? And no, they do not lose their seat until they actually notify the school that they will not be returning. And then at that point, they will give up their seat.
Okay, great. Thank you. So those are kind of, and thank you for answering all the questions that have been in the Q&A. Those are the questions that we had that kind of were more general. Definitely join us if you still have questions, if you want to learn more about these programs. We will have another set of these for elementary, middle, and high school Saturday, December 4th. So if you want to do this again with us, we are more than happy to have you here and learn more about all these programs that we have to offer at the district so that you can find the best fit school for your children. And along with this, we also have the phone bank that is open until 1 o'clock today. If you have any questions, if you've started your application and you run into a question or some issue, our experts from the One Centers are there to offer you help and answer your questions. So please give them a call at 972-925-5560. And you can join us for open house and connect with schools throughout November. A lot of the schools are going to be having virtual tours of the schools during the month, and some even into December. So I encourage you to check out their websites. You can go to our main website, dallasisd.org, and then click on schools and to get to their particular websites, and they should have information on there if they're having a virtual open house. And hopefully maybe in January we can have some in-person open houses if the pandemic cooperates and we are able to do some of that. But if not, we will have virtual open houses sporadically here and there, but definitely check those out. And I think that is all we have. Just a reminder that you must apply by January 31st, 2022, if you want to be part of these wonderful programs that we have to offer in Dallas ISD. Thank you so much to all our panelists who have been here all morning with us, and to the ones who joined us for the high school portion. We really appreciate that you're doing this for our families and our students. And we thank the parents who are taking the time to carefully select the schools that will help their children succeed and have a fantastic future. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend, and maybe we'll see you back here on December 4th.